I believe that God created music to connect people, the human heart, our soul, with heaven.
Wow, so you have a very personal connection with Hillsong because you grew up with it your entire life. So how was that? Was it difficult to see? Was there any difficulty that you could tell me?
I mean, for sure. Like, I grew up like the pastor's kid, you know, and any pastor's kid who, they're right now, they're like, oh man, I know what you're saying, because there's all this pressure. You know, people want you to live a certain way, act a certain way. And I'm going, I'm just a kid. Like, I don't want to be here. You know, I don't want to be in church. I want to be like skateboarding with my friends and graffitiing walls or whatever, because that's what we did. But you know, in that process, I think it helped me. You know, I guess even find my own faith and my own journey in the story was actually trying to run, looking for a reason to run, and in all of those places finding myself kind of actually meeting not who God was through my parents, or not what church was through my parents, but in a way that was real for me.
Yeah, for sure. And you were one of the founders of United, correct?
Yeah, we didn't know we were founding anything at the time. I was like, let's found this thing, you know.
Yeah.
No, it was, we just loved music, you know, and we loved art, and someone told us that we can do that and do it in a way that lines up with what we believe and what we're passionate about, which is, I think, what all kind of great artists and people do in life, is like they take what matters to them and they use what they love to do it. And so that's when we started. It was way back in the day, and here we are now, and still loving it.
Now, this movie shows the hardship of creating a song that people are singing and it's worship. Could you talk about it more, of how the pressure is on?
Yeah.
Because
with what we do, there's a responsibility there, because what we're talking about, I think, is the most important story there is, and you want to do it in a way not so much that's like perfect or you know, ticks all the boxes of what we think needs to be like holy or, you know, right. No, it's actually about just being honest, and sometimes actually writing the honest thing, it involves a lot of self-searching and going to deep places, and that can be painful and it can be challenging, and I think you see that in the film, and a little bit, I mean, a glimpse, like, but in a way that, oh, maybe there's like more to this whole thing called life, and all the kind of stuff that doesn't make sense around us, that's real for people, and that's, I mean, that's our prayer for it, is that people would understand maybe there's a God in heaven who is personal.
talk about the origin of Hillsong Church and what your concept was for it, or your hopes and dreams.
Well, to be honest, when we started, our hope was that people would turn up next week. And for the first 4 weeks, it got smaller every week. We had 70 people when we started, 65 the next week, 53 the next week, 45 the next week. So I worked out there would only be 4.5 more weeks at this rate before there'd be no more people.
It's called pioneering.
But yeah, to be honest, then our vision, I think I've certainly always been a visionary, and we've been together in it, but I could never have imagined the way things look now across the world. That was not in our minds or hearts at all. Really, we were just wanting to reach our little community on the fringe, on the rural fringe of Sydney.
Yeah.
So it's been an amazing journey.
Yeah, and now you're reaching people even in a different way through the movie, they may not necessarily go to the church, but they see the movie. And what was your thoughts when you found out that they wanted to make a movie about Hillsong? You know?
Just amazed. I find it all amazing because we just see it as the faithfulness of God to exceed what you could ever expect. And so when we started, I sure didn't think that one day Hollywood would knock on our door to make a movie about our church and the message of Jesus. I mean, furthest thing from my mind.
Yeah.
But I mean, our hope really is that, we can champion local churches everywhere. Because, we believe in that. And I know the church, when you say the church, it means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And, but, for us, we see it with great affection. We see the great potential. Brian's an incredible builder of the church, and, we believe in the potential of people and what it can be in community and society. So we really hope that will actually really be a great blessing to the broad spectrum of the body of Christ, actually across the United States and around the world.
Does everything make sense? Absolutely not. But I think more stuff doesn't make sense without him.
People would follow you. I would follow you.
Leaders across the country are raving about Ben-Hur.
How long were you a slave?
5 years. It's an emotional roller coaster.
Win the race, win our freedom.
Spectacular, compelling, stunning. Ben-Hur. Rated PG-13.